Oh, you scheming?
And like when she's walking away, she looks back. She's like, "You should have kept going. Should have said something else. Should have just told my daughter to fuck herself. Because I don't give a fuck about her."
Yeah, that'd have been hot.
Hey, Upper Eastsiders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there. You just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, the newbie, the greenhorn, what are we calling me now in season 3, Leif?
I don't know, but 10 freshmen, a keg, and hummus on a card table is not a party. It's a tragedy.
Shame away. You know that's my kink.
Fair enough.
So here's the deal, folks. Leif has been watching Gossip Girl since it first aired, and I'm diving in for the first time. And together, we're your dynamic duo, bringing you all the drama, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic 2007 series.
Bring your magnifying glasses because each week we're dissecting every juicy detail of the show, one episode at a time. We'll connect the dots, uncover those sneaky little Easter eggs, and of course, serve up some piping hot behind-the-scenes tea. And of course, expect some iconic moments from fandom too, because what's a deep dive without a little drama?
And since we are all about inclusivity here at the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there is always a seat for you at the Non-Judging Breakfast table. So go ahead and grab your mimosa, a cup of coffee, or maybe some of Chuck's special medicine, and let's go ahead and get this thing going. Although this week you may not want Chuck's special medicine.
So we got another comment on Spotify from user Malkfoy. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, but it says, Jaden's friend here. Really enjoyed the episode and great work by Jaden on defending our girl Jenny. She deserves a better show and fandom. Started following the pod and will definitely tune in for upcoming episodes.
Awesome. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like Jenny should just move on, start a band, and find her own thing.
No, I don't know if you watched the first 2 episodes of Dexter Resurrection yet.
I have not, because I still haven't watched the other Dexter things. Now, this new one, is this the one with Sarah Michelle Gellar, or was that the prequel?
That's the prequel.
Okay. So yeah, I still haven't seen that.
And that's going to have a second season. That's already been picked up for a second season.
There's another Dexter reboot too, right?
Well, so there was 2 sequels. This is the second sequel series. So they had New Blood, which was 1 season.
Right.
Which focused on the son of the teenager.
Okay.
And at the end of that, the teenager shoots and apparently kills Dexter.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but of course that's immediately retconned at the first scene of the prequel.
Yeah. Oh, of the prequel.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay.
Yeah, because the prequel is basically his flashback, but he's still alive essentially.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So, but anyways, the new series, without any spoilers, I will just say the first 2 episodes, at least for the first 2 episodes, the Empire Hotel was a major location.
No kidding.
Yes.
That's awesome. Does Chuck still own it?
I don't think so.
That would be great.
I kept expecting him to just walk up and the scene.
Just watch him in the background with 2 prostitutes just go up an elevator somewhere would have been.
But instead they had this guy who's a knockoff version of Michelle from Gilmore Girls.
No, I don't know Gilmore Girls.
And so we are here to talk about season 3, episode 20. It's a dad world. Original air date was May 3rd, 2010, and the title is based off of It's a Mad World.
I've never seen it. There's also the Mighty Mighty Bosstones had their album named after it. It's a plaid world.
Nate was living that this episode.
Yes, he was. I kind of wonder. It was maybe 10 years earlier when that album came out. No, a little more than that. So maybe it was kind of a double tribute.
So you thought last week that might have been a Peter Sellers movie. It's not.
No.
No. Directed by Stanley Kramer. Writers are William Rose and Tania Rose, and the stars are Spencer Tracy, Milton Berle, and Ethel Merman.
If I remember correctly, though, I think it is another... Is it another, like, sort of war comedy?
Doesn't sound like I have not seen this one, but it sounds like it's an early version of The Amazing Race. Several different motorists witness a single car crash in the California desert, and after drivers' dying words indicate the location of a hidden stash of loot, and they turn against each other in a mad dash across the state to get to it.
Yes, there was another movie remade. I think was it Cannonball Run? I think was inspired by.
I haven't seen that either.
This movie, and I could be wrong that it might not be Cannonball Run, but there is another movie that was inspired by this, and I believe that movie was then remade because this movie. When did the Mad Mad World come out?
I did not write down the year, but I'm going to say probably the 60s.
Okay. Because then I feel like there was some kind of thing in the late 70s, early 80s, and then another one in the 90s that kind of had this vibe as well.
Well, that is that movie, but this episode was written by Amanda Lasher. She has been a staple in the writer's room for most of the show's run. Some of her highlights include Say It or Anything, The Freshman, and They Shoot Humphreys, don't they?
So it looks like we have some survival in the writer's room.
Well, she's an executive producer, I think.
Oh, so she has a little more leverage, and she has good episodes that she's done too.
Yeah,
those are all pretty solid. So.
She had some not great ones in there that I didn't list. Those were her highlights.
Oh, okay.
But they can't all be winners on this show,
right?
Episode was directed by Jeremiah Chechnik. This is his first of 3 episodes of Gossip Girl. His previous credits include TV and movies. Started his career with 2 music videos, Van Halen's When It's Love and Hall & Oates' Downtown Life. But then he went on to direct Benny and June and Christmas Vacation.
Oh.
So, kind of a big name.
Oh, I thought... Who did I think did Christmas Vacation?
Was written by National Lampoon.
Well, right. National Lampoon is a troupe, right?
Yeah.
Not a yeah. But I thought for some reason the director was Christopher Columbus, the guy that did Home Alone. But I could just be
according to IMDb, it was this guy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those are 2 solid movie credits.
I really like Betty and June.
Yeah, and it's got to be tough to be the guy directing the Van Halen video following up Right Now. That was like that huge sensation, breakthrough video and all that stuff.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and read us that Vulture recap?
All right. Ordinarily, the characters on Gossip Girl thrive on deception. Plotting secrets and withheld tidbits of information are what keep their hair full, their skin luminous, and their tits buoyant. What, did you think it was the waffles? But on last night's episode, it was as if everyone had been plumped up with a truth serum instead. People were coming clean about their darkest secrets all over the place. Blair admitted to Nate that she had been lying about going to Columbia. Chuck admitted to Lily that he was frightened of losing her. Vanessa told Dan, "You were right." Serena nervously confessed to her father that she was actually a party girl instead of a straight-edge student, as if he couldn't tell that from the fact that she was wearing a sequined ace bandage. And, after several months, Jenny decided that she couldn't even wait another hour to tell Rufus about her drug-dealing past, even if it meant crashing a Doctors Without Borders gala to do it. Once there, however, she was stopped short by a girl with a confession of her own. "That wasn't Oxy you sold me, it was antibiotics," she hissed. "I didn't get high, I got a yeast infection." For the record, we love that actress for delivering that line and hope she gets a Monistat commercial out of this. Thankfully, by the end of the episode, things had reverted to normal, and new webs of deceit were being woven and draped across the Upper East Side. That actress, instead of a Monistat commercial, got a series, because she is the marvelous Mrs. Maisel of the series, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Have you watched that at all?
No.
Fantastic series. Absolutely love that.
That's what I hear. We begin Act 1 with a Gossip Girl monologue. It's said that we're all strapped to fortune's wheel. Nowhere is this truer than the ever-changing landscape of love. As one couple enjoys an upswing, another is plunged downwards. But top or bottom, don't get too comfortable, because one thing you can rely on is that the wheel will keep on turning. We open with a juxtaposition between scenes. Nate and Serena are all lovey-dovey in the Empire Suite, and Dan and Vanessa are being cold and affectionless in the loft. Serena has apparently spent the past week only visiting for late-night fuck sessions and then returning to the penthouse to support her mother and see her dad. Chuck is still hooking up with multiple random women per night. Go ahead and judge him. Shame turns him on.
You have these two parallel relationships that you're watching in the beginning, and you definitely see the affection on one side, the cold inaffection on the other side. It's leading to something.
Dan and Vanessa are once again making stupid rules for their relationship. This time it's what they can and can't talk about. Just rip the Band-Aid off already and break up.
Yeah, they're doing the rules thing again. You already did almost this same thing in your second episode of this stupid, boring relationship.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yes.
At the penthouse, Eric gets a text from Elliot, but admits to Jenny they have been too busy to even go on a first date yet. Serena comes up the elevator and gives Rufus a heartfelt greeting before big-timing little Jay. Lily comes down and asks everyone to just act normally. The last person to arrive is William, because Serena invited him, much to Rufus's chagrin.
Yeah, Serena, you're being an asshole already. The other thing, Lily's expression when she talks about Chuck is heartbreaking. That the way she says, "Oh, if he was here, it would show me that something wasn't all right," which is such a Lily thing to say, but you can just see in her face that she misses Charles.
Yeah. Might be the only person she actually loves.
Yep.
William makes a big show of giving Lily a checkup. He then invites everyone to a gala where he is being honored. Serena is enthusiastic. Eric is sarcastic, and Lily accepts on behalf of her and Rufus.
Yeah. Why are they honoring this guy? Doesn't he have an older brother who's more successful?
Well, he was a record guy.
Yeah, I know, but I'm also making a Baldwin reference. I'm also trying to make a Baldwin reference.
Well, this is specifically Columbia alumni.
Right.
Yes. Eric and Serena have a brief exchange where Serena says Eric has to give Dr. Daddy a chance. Eric rightfully points out that William left when he was 2, is a complete stranger, and no the fuck he doesn't.
Absolutely, Eric. Absolutely. I was so on board with Eric.
Yeah. It was sad at the end.
Yes, I was disappointed.
He got manipulated.
Yes. And like Rufus opened the door for it. We'll get there.
As everyone sits down for breakfast, Serena pushes Rufus aside to make room for Dr. Daddy.
Yeah.
Serena's just so bad in this episode.
She's terrible. I really can't stand her in this episode. And again, it's the golden retriever. It's the thing that's in front of her. And now, like, here's this dad that is trying. So, like, he's in front of me and I'm going to be, like, listening to him. But, like, this other dude has been your fucking dad when no one in this whole world would step up to that job. When no one wanted to. None of your other stepfathers have ever taken the interest that Rufus has taken in you as a daughter.
Absolutely, yeah. She did Rufus dirty.
Rufus is also a fucking idiot in this episode, but I feel for him on that angle.
Blair calls Nate to ask him to reserve her a good spot for his lacrosse game. She is once again spiraling about how she doesn't fit in at NYU.
Yeah, it's cute that she was going to go see Nate's sports game.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and obviously with the ulterior motive of trying to meet Columbia boys. But it was also, I'm going to go see my friend's game, and that was sweet.
Blair bumps into the Columbia girls from a few episodes ago. They describe having a perfect off-campus setup for the next term. Blair lies about transferring to Columbia.
Yes, I loved the return of the Columbia girls, of the headbands.
Mm-hmm.
I really had fun with this story, and Blair kind of reestablishing herself, and Blair kind of getting kicked around a lot and not letting it really phase her too much in a lot of it. That it's more of just like, this bullshit. You're right. So I really liked that. I also loved, isn't that the food that paralegals eat? When she asks about falafel.
Yeah. Yeah. They might have to install a dumbwaiter if I was to be over a falafel house.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the first episode, these two were credited as girl number 1 and girl number 2. Now they have actual names. They are, the blonde is Jessica and the brunette is Zoe.
All right, so they are named now.
Yes.
I feel like they had a friend that should be with them. I'm bummed that very charismatic, quiet third friend is not in this episode.
She should have got the part too.
Yeah, she should have been invited along. But they always do things in threes. As she was saying, I thought about that, about how they said they always do things in threes. So once you have the two of them in Blair, now you have your three, and the one without lines got cut, and bummed not to see you there, Danielle.
Yeah. Serena is lying to her father about her time in boarding school, trying to make it sound like all she cared about was academics. Jenny is not sitting still for that, though, and reveals that Damien told her he caught Serena at a bed and breakfast with a teacher. In retaliation, Serena announces that she's moving back in and taking her old room back from Jenny. Rufus is startled to learn that William is also moving into the building.
This Jenny Serena thing I found interesting because episode 20, which we're on, season 2, episode 20, was Jenny's birthday party. And Serena throwing the party for Jenny, and then Jenny getting mad and blowing that party up. So once again, we have Serena and Jenny at it at the end of the season like this. Mm-hmm. And on the one hand, Serena, you were you rode naked on a horse across a field to get your dad's attention. He knows who you are. Yeah. So why are you lying about your high school stories? Why are you even opening the door for Jenny here? And why would you even say like, oh, I was in a contest like that. Oh, we were drinking hot chocolate. Grow up.
But this leads me back to the whole Serena was adultized way too young. She was drinking absinthe at like 14.
Yeah.
Gossip Girl takes us to the act break with, better watch out, Humphreys. They say love makes a family, but on the Upper East Side, everyone knows it's real estate. We move into Act 2. Dan calls Rufus to apologize for running late. However, Rufus informs him that Vanessa has applied to an internship that will take her to Haiti for 3 months. Dan regrettably has to cancel on Rufus.
I kind of love this. And Vanessa, you fucking idiot, not saying to Rufus, by the way, I'm not telling Dan about this, but then Rufus would be like, then don't put me down. So Rufus has no reason not to tell Dan here.
Well, if you remember, Vanessa says she was about to tell him that morning, but then Dan came up with the silly rules.
Yes.
So she had planned to tell him about it.
She had planned to tell him about it, but once again, she planned to tell him about it, after she heard back instead of before she applied to the thing that she told her that his dad knew about before him. That's what's shitty. Like, hey, I'm going to apply to this thing. This is what it's going to mean if I get it. Like, not, oh, I applied to this thing and I might get it. They're interviewing me. So once again, Vanessa, you're an asshole.
And don't get your hopes up that she's leaving the show for an extended period because it's going to be summer break. And
I know. No, I said to Robin at the end of all this, I was like, why'd they have to do this at the end of the season? Why couldn't they have done this mid-season so we would actually be rid of Vanessa for 3 months?
Yeah.
But no, I already recognized that.
William tries to make nice with Eric, who still isn't having it. He tries to shock William by announcing his sexuality and his suicide attempt. And while I don't trust William at all, he at least says the right things. He would like to get to know Eric on Eric's terms.
He does say the right things, but also Eric, everything he says is just spot on. Like, do you want to bring a girl tonight? I'm gay. So no, I don't. And then when he's like, well, I want to make up for this. That window closed somewhere between my 12th birthday and my suicide attempt. Yeah. And it's like, that suicide attempt was 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And you never came to this kid after that. So, like, what fucking right do you have?
Yeah. He didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
That's how out of touch he is with him.
Yeah. So I really felt for Eric.
Yeah. Serena is tossing all of Jenny's things out of her closet. Rufus enters in an attempt to play peacemaker, but both girls storm off.
Yes. And again, that parallel to a season ago at the end of it when Serena gets blamed and basically says, ask your daughter, and storms off. And now you have her saying, once again to Rufus, how many problems does she have to cause before you realize she's the problem? And as much of an asshole as Serena is, she's right at this point. Which, of course, also explains some of her being mad at Rufus. Because honestly, if Serena's moving in like, hey, this is my room, and Rufus is like, we can make up Chuck's room for you. Fuck you. I'm going to have my room, and you can put your daughter in Chuck's room. And fuck Lily for agreeing in the next scene, too. I don't know, one of the women Chuck tried to assault in the first episode is going to need to move into his room.
Well, I think with Serena, it makes more sense with Serena because it's obviously going to be a temporary thing with her.
Yeah. But I don't think she knows that.
And Chuck was only living there for what, like a couple months?
Yeah.
It's not like he lived there for years or anything.
Yeah, and he wasn't like bringing tons of people home at that time.
Yeah, it's more, it makes much more sense for Serena to go to that room.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming it's going to be temporary, which it, should be because she's, adult and going to, not going to college, but still.
Yeah, it is like, I want to be home while my mom is. She's like fucking homeless. Well, isn't she? And
she lives at Blair's.
Right, but that's not really her home either. Like, she's like crashing with Nate's at the Empire, right?
Yeah.
So she's crashing with Nate at the Empire.
Who's technically just crashing with Chuck.
Does Nate have his own place, or he's just crashing with Chuck, right?
Well, he rented that room at the end, the apartment at the end of season 2. I don't know if he kept it because the whole impetus was right for him and Blair to move in together.
Yeah, so it'd be right in between the two places. So now it's like a commute. Fuck. Oh wait, I'm just gonna move in with Chuck instead.
At the NYU cafe, Dan confronts Vanessa about the internship in Haiti. Vanessa admits that she got the job and it's a huge opportunity. She says she wishes they were still just friends so they can talk about this stuff. Dan asks her point blank if she wants to go back to that. When Vanessa hesitates before saying, I don't know, Dan continues the parade of storm-outs from the previous scene.
I would have stormed off. Absolutely. If I would have sat down after storming in, after getting that information and then having that reaction, no. Yeah, I'd storm off. That was obnoxious.
Just break up.
Just break up.
Rufus and Lily are talking about the ever-expanding household, and Lily apologizes for the awkwardness with William. Rufus asks if it's possible that William still has feelings for her, and she says no way. They end with a nice smooch. However, Rufus's face is covered in doubt. As the scene ends, he calls Holland for a favor.
You're an idiot. Rufus, the best thing you could have done for your marriage, honestly, is let that guy move in underneath so that you would always be around. Like, the best thing you could have done is not call Holland in that moment.
I don't know. I think that was definitely the right move.
The
only problem is he's just not good enough to pull it off.
Well, that's the thing, is that he's not going to pull it off. Or he is, and, you know, because it's successful, but then is it successful? We don't really know how that's all going to play out, because at the end, it's just Rufus, more than anything, going to Holland. You're an idiot. You sat on that board, so like, you know other people on that board. You don't have to go to the person that you may or may not have banged.
Blair is still walking with her new Columbia friends, Jessica and Zoe. When Blair declines to get involved in the Jenny and Serena's feud, Jessica and Zoe shame her into jumping into the game. And when she does, they even provide some ammo for the takedown.
Blair Waldorf got third person. That was something.
Yeah. That might come back to bite them in the ass.
Yes, it might. I really loved the old school, the season 1 and 2 Blair of this episode. It really took me back.
I did like her comment in the scene, though. I've had some recent bad luck getting involved in real estate disputes.
Yeah. Oof. Oops.
And Gossip Girl takes us to the next break with... We hear Blair Waldorf's headed for a comeback, but if she wants to keep her fans happy, she better keep serving up the hits. We move into Act 3. Jenny comes after Serena in the kitchen, accusing her directly and then through Blair of spilling the tea. The two argue about whose lies to their respective fathers are more harmful. Jenny wins this round when she points out that while she may be lying about some of her actions, Rufus knows who she is, but William is only going to know a fake version of Serena.
But Jenny also, like, going there and throwing shit at Serena and being like, how dare you let Blair do this? Jenny, you're the one that sold drugs. Somebody had dirt on you and somebody let it out, and I had nothing to do with it. So maybe don't sell drugs.
Vanessa comes to the loft to apologize. Dan says he is fine with Vanessa going to Haiti, but Vanessa decides to stay. However, she is going to tell the woman from CNN in person over drinks tonight.
She's so dumb. How dumb would you be to turn this thing down? Yeah, you're going to be away from your boyfriend for 3 months. How could you turn down an internship with a major company that's sending you away to do this thing based on, you know, some stupid play you wrote and based on your garden documentary? And they want to, like, give you an internship and you're like,
well, this is probably based on her story about Trip.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm guessing it's probably that same woman.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
But also, the scene ends with a close-up on Dan's face. It just has a look of like, damn, I almost got rid of her.
I was this close.
Blair is now walking by herself and is contemplating replying to Amalia about NYU housing when Nate shows up. He calls her out for never showing up at his game. Nate calls Blair out for reverting to her old ways. She's pretending to be a Columbia student, outing Jenny on Gossip Girl, and then Jessica overhears the conversation and pulls out her sidekick as the scene ends.
So this was 2010, and it would have been aired, what, like April, right? April, May 2010?
It was May 3rd.
May 3rd? So my first thought was like there was snow on the ground. 2010 was the year that there was a huge blizzard. that I know I was out of school for like a week when it happened. And I think that was like a March, maybe even April blizzard.
Yeah, so it probably would have filled in late February, early March.
Yeah. And so that I'm assuming that's like remnants of that blizzard that took place. Oh, also I love Nate being a therapist again.
And also it does seem like this is a day later.
Yes, but there was like no snow and it was like nice out the day before, and now today it's like it had snowed a lot. Like it was the day after you and I growing up in, well, I grew up in snow and you grew up somewhat here and then no snow at all. But you've been around snow enough to know that was not fresh snow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love Nate being the therapist again, and I really hope that he's studying psychology at Columbia.
Following Nate's prompting, Blair goes to the Empire to convince Chuck to see Lily. Chuck just mocks Blair. We see her get a Gospel Girl blast and then leave. As she is getting on the elevator, she calls Amalia, and she says she is ready to sign the lease on their NYU apartment.
I love how unfazed Blair is in this whole scene. When she walks in and it's like, no, we're broken up. You do this. I know who you are. But stays on point. And even Chuck trying to rattle her, and Chuck with if you went to an Ivy, you'd have a better take on my psychology. Yeah. And her being rattled on the way out, but just being like, nope, this is my life now. Nope, I'm an NYU student. That's who I am, and I'm going to go own it. I really impressed with Blair there.
I agree. So I also, this whole concept of the NYU apartment I find funny, because in some corner of the writer's room, they acknowledge that it does take time to get around the city. But everyone else is fast traveling all the time.
Yeah.
So why can't you just live at home?
Yeah, exactly.
And Gossip Girl has this to say. Spotted. B claiming to be a co-ed at Columbia when everyone knows she's a zero at NYU. Or B, first she lost Chuck and now her dignity. You make your bed, you lie in it, B. Too bad yours is in the East Village.
Yeah, it's all right, B.
We go into Act 4. Serena calls Rufus out for blocking Dr. Daddy from moving into the building. Rufus admits to it, which Lily overhears. Lily still thinks William is only moving in to get close to the kids and that Rufus is just being jealous. Serena strongly suggests that Rufus no longer come to the gala. Rufus, he tried to fly too close to the sun, scheming against the big boys.
And that was kind of, I guess maybe my whole, he shouldn't have done that is because of the fallout. And it's because Lily doesn't take shit like that. You know, going behind her back after she says, no, it's fine, let him move in, and then going behind her back to do that, that's going to piss off Lily.
Well, I mean, it is and it isn't, because it can also turn her on. She liked when Bart did stuff like that.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, maybe she's like, up your game, Rufus. Yeah, because she isn't really that mad at him when she sees him later, is she? It's Serena that's like, don't come to this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lily right now is like, oh, you scheming?
And like when she's walking away, she looks back. She's like, "You should have kept going. Should have said something else. Should have just told my daughter to fuck herself. Because I don't give a fuck about her."
Yeah, that'd have been hot. I do like. So this is about Serena. Serena will go toe to toe with any adult on the show.
Yeah.
She will speak her mind, whether she's right, whether she's wrong, whether she's making an ass out of herself and knows it or not. She will go toe to toe with any adult on this show and will not back down, and does it in a very adult way a lot of the time. The way she addressed Rufus, she talked to him like he was an adult.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the product of her basically raising herself and raising her little brother and being around other adults who saw her as the caretaker. So there is that side of Serena that I do respect.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when Serena opens the throttle, she is a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
Blair enters the gala only to be immediately called out by Jessica and Zoe for pretending to be a Columbia student. I guess Blair now knows where the Gossip Girl blast came from.
I love that Blair is in this place of acceptance. She has this sort of zen over her, I feel. Like she's hurt and she's beaten, but she's not flailing and she's not drowning. She's just accepting. And I really like that about her.
Serena, Lily, and Dr. Daddy arrive at the gala. William quickly peels off to talk to some colleagues. Lily sees a dumbstruck Chuck standing across the room and also excuses herself from Serena.
That arrival, that whole scene, I'm going to let you do the next part because I feel like these things tie together.
Chuck apologizes to Lily for not showing up until now, but promises to be there for her every step of the way. Chuck comments on how great she looks, and Lily admits that she feels great. They share a warm embrace.
This whole scene, where it starts with Chuck walking in, scanning the room, seeing Lily, in a way that would often be sought almost romantic, right? Which we know that it's not a romantic thing. It just shows how eager Chuck is to show Lily that he's there for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make eye contact. Lily breaks away, and then we go to the non-judging breakfast club.
Blair, Serena, and Nate group up. Serena kisses Nate and thanks him for getting Chuck to show up. First, Nate and then Blair deny being the ones to convince Chuck.
And Nate had nothing to do with it. And Blair's response is, like he ever listens to me. And Serena knows that Chuck wouldn't be here if there wasn't something else. So, yes, Blair, it was absolutely because of what you did. But I just loved how they all were there for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And how they let Chuck be the hero of that moment too. And then the apology happens, and that conversation where Chuck has a mom again.
Yeah.
And it was just so sweet, and I mean, I got emotional watching.
Yeah. That the second part was great. The first part where he sees her across the room, he just like zonked out when he was staring across the room. But then, yeah, I do like to see where they actually talk and they apologize and they have the warm embrace.
Yes. And you know, he puts his lips on her shoulder and it's such a motherly sort of way, like this mother-son, almost like, you know, that caretaker. Yeah, I just thought that was great.
Dan finds Jenny hiding out at the loft, and while he would love her company, he asks if the Gossip Girl blast was true. Jenny admits that she was dealing, but not anymore. Dan suggests she should have a little faith in Rufus and admit the truth. Jenny agrees and goes to find a dress for the gala.
Hey, Dan, you're being a good big brother here. You are. What reason does Jenny have to have faith?
Well, from Dan's point of view.
Right. No. Seriously, if you just come clean, like, he's pretty cool.
He's a cool guy.
He's really cool if you want to be a writer and you're a dude.
Or if you're Serena.
Yeah, or if you're Serena. He listens to her.
But this scene made me realize there's been a serious lack of Dan and Jenny this season.
Yes. You're absolutely right. There hasn't been that big brother, those interactions, the little sister, big brother stuff. In fact, even when it kind of come up, Nate has played the role more than Dan. But that was for other reasons.
Serena finds Dr. Daddy and admits the true story from boarding school and the fact that she has been involved in many scandals. Dr. Daddy just rolls with the punches and continues to say all the right things. Serena is afraid that after Lily is better, he will just leave again. When Dr. Daddy promises they will be a happy family again, Serena throws Rufus under the bus with a smile on her face.
That's what killed me. That, yeah, you're mad at Rufus right now. Rufus has been your dad since he married Lily, since he got together with Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the times when he's like, you should stay away from Vanderwoods and women. But for the most part, he has been a much better father to you than any father you've ever had.
Well, yeah, telling us to stay away from Vanderwood woman is preempting him to, stay away from his stepsister.
Yeah, I mean, that's still good advice.
Yeah. So this is what Gossip Girl has to say as we go to the break. Aw, Serena finally has the perfect relationship with her daddy, but will her dream come true, be Rufus's worst nightmare? We go into Act 5. Blair randomly bumps into someone from Columbia's admissions office at the bar. He remembers her application specifically and congratulates her for getting into Columbia. But wait, didn't Blair say she missed the transfer deadline?
That's what I heard. Although I did call a few episodes ago that we were going to get Blair transferring to Columbia.
After the admissions guy leaves, Nate comes up to Blair and reveals Chuck had joked about applying to Columbia on Blair's behalf because she was too prideful to admit NYU was a mistake. It's nice to see Blair happy.
Yeah, she's so giddy.
Yeah.
And you never see that. So I loved seeing Blair be little girl giddy.
Yeah. Eric finds Rufus making a lonely sandwich wearing his tuxedo. Eric convinces him that he should be with Lily tonight, not William. At that moment, the elevator dings and Elliot steps into the penthouse. Apparently, William invited Elliot because he knew Eric didn't have plans. Rufus continues to be an awesome stepdad and tells Eric that it's okay to be mad at his father, but it's also okay to let him try to make amends.
Yeah, again, like, Rufus has no reason to do this other than just being a good dad.
Yeah.
He
cares about these kids.
Yeah, he cares about these kids so much that he's like, look, you have every right to be mad at him. He said to Serena last week, don't let my shit be your shit, and be open to him. And he's doing the same thing with Eric now.
Holland attempts to intercept Rufus, who has just arrived at the gala. However, Rufus just dodges her and goes right to Lily. Rufus apologizes and says he just wants to be with her and doesn't care who lives where. William sees them smooching from across the room.
Holland came in hot, too. She got, like, faced, like, front to front with Rufus, like, yo, what's up? It's like, lady, his wife is right over there.
Yeah. Chuck and Jenny run into each other and both comment on how good and healthy Lily looks. Their conversation is interrupted as William is called up on the stage to accept his award. William throws out his prepared speech and instead uses the podium to say that walking away from his family was the biggest mistake of his life. He then promises he will do everything in his power to make it right and says those 3 words, 8 letters. Lily is shocked, Rufus is staring daggers, and Serena is on cloud 9.
The Jenny and Chuck pairing here was a little foretelling, I feel, but also I loved that Chuck was instantly sus of Dr. Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
That was this, right?
Yeah.
Where he walks up and they're like, she looks really good, like really healthy.
What do you think it's foretelling of?
A couple of things. Well, I mean, so it looks like there's a matchup here because later on they reconnect about this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like putting them into this situation could very easily lead to a Jenny Chuck hookup too. If they're investigating something together, those kind of things often, those lines in Gossip Girl often get blurred.
Well, this is what Gossip Girl has to say about the situation. My oh my, did Dr. Vanderwoodson just make a public pass at Rufus's wife? Looks like this doctor without borders needs a few boundaries.
Dr. Daddy was totally telegraphing his moves.
Yeah. We move into the epilogue. Rufus is drinking a whiskey at the bar and Lily comes up and admits that he was right about William, but that it doesn't matter because she loves Rufus. When Rufus once again asks for another doctor, Lily asks Rufus to sleep at the loft for the night. Fucking Lily.
Fucking Lily. Matt, act mad.
Well, that was the previous scene where he stares into the camera as the scene ends.
Well, I was thinking of when he's standing at the bar, when they bring it back from break, and he's at the bar, and he's like grunting, waiting for Lily to come up. And again, I said this last week, the greatest doctors in the world are in New York. Why would you not get a second opinion? Not a new doctor. Just have another doctor run the same tests. That's all.
That would make too much sense.
Yep. Not enough drama for the adults.
Some rando calls Jenny out for selling her what was supposed to be Oxy, but ended up being antibiotics that gave her a yeast infection. Of course, an already pissed off Rufus overhears and takes out all his frustrations on Jenny.
Miss Maisel puts Jenny on blast, and then Jenny is, Dad, it's not what you think. Ooh. And he's just not having it. Oh, Jenny. Again, season 2, episode 20 also ended with Jenny in big trouble with Rufus.
Mm-hmm. Dan shows up at the dorm and convinces Vanessa to take the internship. He also has a very romantic gift of fancy stationery for handwritten letters. Dan tells her to include a little bit of the dirty stuff.
Yeah. My note on this actually says, why during the hiatus? We're finally getting rid of Vanessa, and it's during the break.
Damn
it. You writers.
Holland finds Serena in the coat room and says she has some info about Rufus that Lily should know.
Holland, why are you going to Serena about whatever the fuck this is? You asshole.
Yeah, involving the kid, not a cool move.
Yeah, you're going to the kid. You're grimy. She's grimy. She's always been grimy.
Yep. Serena runs off to Dr. Daddy and tells him to fight for mommy.
Yep, the golden retriever just got some information and woof woof.
Jenny is on her bed, not Googling for cancer. As she scrolls through the results, something seems to catch her eye.
No, she's for cancer.
No, we're not Googling. Bill, send over some money, then we'll say your stupid search engine name.
Give us another check. Yeah.
So Blair tracks down Jessica and Zoe and informs them that she is in fact transferring to Columbia next term and that they got some bad information. But if they cross her again, they'll get to see Blair Waldorf take down firsthand.
Yeah, Blair coming right at her new minions. And just kind of, without saying it, well, I guess she does say it, I don't live with the help. Just, boom, you are now
Minions.
my minions.
Yes. Chuck receives a thank you text from Blair before taking a call from Jenny, who voices her suspicion about William's prescription for Lily.
I like that text. I like the place that it leaves Blair and Chuck. I like this episode where it leaves the two of them at a place of we can still be friends, we can coexist, and we're not romantically involved, but we're going to be in each other's lives, and we were important to each other. Oh, and then the call from Jenny, where Jenny's been through Lily's medicine cabinet.
Yeah, so stuff is labeled as Oxycontin from William is actually
antibiotics. So, which, if you feed someone antibiotics for a long time, it wreaks havoc on the body.
Yeah.
And can look like other diseases.
And we already kind of knew something was up with the prescriptions from last week.
Yes.
Eric is telling Lily all about Elliot when Serena and Dr. Daddy show up. Eric says it's okay for him to stay, and then even Lily agrees. Serena answers a call from Rufus and declines to give the phone to Lily.
Lily is an asshole here. But it's the Liliest thing to do, to be like, yeah, come on in. What Lily should have done is said, don't you have a new place downstairs?
Well, he doesn't.
Well, yeah, that's true. But why don't you guys go out somewhere? But it's the Lily thing to do, to be mad at Rufus and invite him in. And Serena, fuck you. Fuck you, Serena.
So Eric thanks Dr. Daddy for setting up his date with Elliot. Serena returns and lies about who called. The four look like a happy family laughing on the couch.
Fuck you, Serena.
Yeah. The Gossip Girl ends the episode with, listen carefully, yes. Holland has a tale to tell. Apparently her upstairs neighbor has been coming downstairs. They say that the family are the people who will always take you in, but if instead they shut the door, or even worse, let someone else take your place. What do you say, Serena? Who's your daddy? XO, Gossip Girl. And that is our episode. What's coming next?
All right. Well, let's start small. Vanessa's going to be gone. Dan is going to be I've been waiting for this Dan Blair thing to happen, and I'm concerned that it's going to be also on the hiatus and that we're not going to get very much of it. I'm worried it's going to happen at the end and come back from hiatus and it's going to be over. That feels very on brand. But anyway, I'm hoping that this is the avenue there. I believe Jenny and Chuck are going to uncover Dr. Daddy's devious deeds, and that's going to blow up. The Rufus thing, I think Serena will eventually realize that Rufus has been a better dad to her than anybody else. And eventually, I feel like by the end of the season anyway, William will show who he is. That is very much in line with the last 2 seasons, that we have this villain show up at the end who kind of reveals who they are. So by the end, by the season finale, we're trying to work past the scandal. So I'm hoping that Jenny and Chuck bring all of that out.
So I asked this last week, and you didn't really have a good guess. Any new information on who Dr. Daddy was talking to on the phone at the end of the last episode?
My one guess is that it could be Damien. Is that his name?
There is a Damien on the show.
Was that who's the drug dealing? Who's Jenny's drug dealing?
Damien,
yeah. So I think Damien is a possibility, or more likely his dad. Who else would be in pharmaceuticals? Because the other obvious one is Chuck, but Chuck wouldn't. I really don't think Chuck would be doing that to Lily. I don't know who new Chuck is. Yeah, other than those two, I can't really think of who else.
Who does William have connections with?
Who does William have connections with? Cece. William has, so let's see, Cece. None of the other parents that I could think of that are alive, like Bart, but Bart's dead. Captain. The captain was into some drugs.
He's in jail though.
He is in jail. Unless he's out. I don't know.
I feel like that would have been a story.
I feel like it would have been. Who else is a pharmacist? Pharmaceuticals.
Or a doctor.
Who else is a doctor? I feel like I'm missing something huge here. Vanessa's mom isn't a doctor.
Not that we're aware of.
What other doctor? Okay. I'll have to think on it.
We'll have to find out next week.
Yeah.
So let's get into some segments. This week in fandom, we jumped in the Wayback Machine to travel to the fan forums from 2010.
Hello there, Peabody here. And this is the Wayback Machine for traveling through time. And this is my boy, Sherman. Speak, Sherman. Hello. Good boy.
Not much to say this week. Most people kind of felt like it was another filler episode setting up the end of the season. They liked the Chuck and Blair stuff. They really liked the Chuck and Lily stuff. And at this point, they're not even really hating on Jenny. They just find her boring.
That's fair. Yeah.
So not much going on this week, but that's kind of the overall sentiment.
Yeah, it does have that middle of the road sort of feel to it. That kind of filler feel that we're setting up stuff and we're not really tying anything new together. But I enjoyed it.
Well, moving into episode grades, middle of the road is dead on because I gave it a C.
Yeah, I'm giving it a C plus. I again, middle of the road. It wasn't bad. It had good stuff to it, but
Yeah, I mean, I like the Chuck and Lily scene, and a couple of Blair scenes were okay, but that's about it.
I like that Vanessa's going away.
But we're gonna miss it though.
I know, and I don't like that.
All right, moving into Stockwatch. Going up, I had Blair because she's into Columbia and she kind of got some new minions, it looks like. I had William going up because he seems to be winning everyone over. Eric going up because he had a nice little date with Elliot. And he had some righteous indignation at the beginning of the episode. Mm-hmm. I had Dan going up because he was a great boyfriend in this episode. He's very understanding and told her to take the internship because it's a great opportunity. We'll make it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I had Vanessa going up because she got a great opportunity, even though she almost blew it. I also had Chuck going up because he finally showed up for Lily.
Yeah. I had much the same. I had Dr. Daddy going up. I had Chuck going up. I had Blair going up for getting into Columbia. I had Nate going up for being a good therapist friend. I had Eric and Elliot going up for having a nice date, and for Elliot always being able to show up for Eric when Eric needs him. I wasn't originally going to do this, but I'm going to give Dan and Vanessa both up for the exact same reasons that you said. And Dan should go up because he's going to get rid of Vanessa for 3 months. I don't get rid of her for 3 months, but Dan does, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I had Nate neutral just because he spilled the tea once again.
Yeah,
and he didn't really do much.
Yeah,
but going down, I had Rufus because he lost.
Yeah,
Serena because she's an asshole. Lily because she's also an asshole. Jenny because she got bullied by Serena. And Holland because she's awful.
Yeah. Yes. So, yeah, Rufus for me as well. Serena as well. Lily as well for being played. Little J for getting outed, and now she's going to be in big trouble with Rufus. I also had the Columbia girls, Zoe and Jessica, going down because they tried to get one up on Blair, and now they're minions.
But here's the best outfits from the last episode we've seen.
Moving over to best outfit. For me, it was Jenny's mint strapless gown with the half train by Marchesa.
Oh, yeah, that was nice. I personally liked the sequins ace bandage that Serena was wearing. I actually really liked that dress that she was wearing. So I'm giving it to Serena.
And that is it for segments. Do you have anything you want to plug this week?
Not particularly. But if you want to follow me on TikTok, it is at steve.marchand. That's also the same for Instagram. MARCHION. I'm also at The Weed Wizard on Blue Sky. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me right now.
For me, go ahead and check out Dexter Resurrection. First 2 episodes are out. By the time you're listening to this, probably like 3 episodes should be out. And if you want to follow me, you can find me on Instagram at Hot Capicola. That's HOTCAPICOLA. I'm on the same on Threads and on Blue Sky. And you can follow the podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. You can also find links to our Discord server, our Patreon, subreddit, etc. on our webpage, nonjudgingbreakfastpod.com.
And if you would like to get in touch with us, we'd love to hear what you have to say. Please feel free to send us an email at nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear what you have to say and maybe read your email here on our show. Also, if you would please, while you're listening, give us a like, a subscribe, or follow And please leave a comment on the episode to tell us what you think. Those things really help us with our visibility in Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And while you're at it, if you could go ahead and tell your friends what you're listening to, bring them into the non-judging breakfast table, and we can go ahead and make us your water cooler talk next week.
And we will be back next week to talk about Season 3, Episode 21, Ex-Husbands and Wives. The episode description reads, when things get tense between Rufus and Will, Serena chooses to stand behind her father, while Rufus is made to feel like an outsider in his own family.
Oh, Serena, you asshole.
Well, until next time, you know you love us.
XOXO.
Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me